Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Better Man Show, where I share my journey on becoming a better person. It is suitable for both men and women, right? So, the network is a little bit wonky today. And yesterday, a friend was telling me that there was a bit of a audio sync and video sync issue. Hopefully today is better. I watched the replay for yesterday. It was all right. So let's hope today is all right as well. But I kind of feel that the internet is a bit slow today. It was like slow to start, right? So welcome once again to 10 p.m. and the Better Man Show, where I share my journey on the things I learned on my way to becoming a better person, and hopefully the things I share would benefit you as well. And the reason why this was done was because it was motivated by this. So this is day number 37 of the 100-day challenge. Exactly 37 days ago, I started a 100-day live stream challenge, which some of my friends said that you are crazy. Sometimes I think about it, I kind of feel that they are right. But it has been very, very fruitful. It's been 37 days of doing this, and it's been a journey of learning, discovery, reconnecting old friends, feeling very supported because friends from all over, either through comments or private messages, they kind of tell you that, hey, we are rooting for you. And sometimes friends will actually message and say, hey, which day are you in now? Right? So everybody is curious on what day you are on. So what I want to say to you is that if you are keen on doing anything like this, just know that there will be friends, there will be loved ones, there will be people who care about you, that will be rooting for you. You know, that is something that I discovered very, very early on as I started this 100-day live stream challenge. So a quick shout out to Andy Frisella, who gave me or inspired me to do this. So he has something else called 75 Hard. It's a very challenging program. Please have a look at that if you're keen about that, right? So just go and check it out. Now, some quick housekeeping in a way. So obviously, if we are friends, you know I'm BK. If we are not friends, feel free to follow me on Facebook or wherever I'm popping up on your radar. And at the same time, because part of this show is about testing platforms, testing technical stuff, and while it's not a tech show, sometimes I do talk about technical stuff, you know, like how to do live streams and so on. So I'm also trying out different various platforms to do these live streams. So drop a comment and tell us what platform you're on, because I'm currently testing a few, right? So I'm live on Facebook, YouTube currently, and actually some other places as well. So just drop a comment and let me know where you happen to be catching me from. Okay. Now, so today is a continuation of the past 2 days, which is where in the world do I find content for my live streams, if you are thinking about that, right? And interestingly enough, in Chinese, I was saying where when there's one, there's two, and then there's three. So there was a day one where I talked about this, day two where I talk about this, and then obviously now it's day three where I talk about the same topic. And of course, day one and two, I kind of mentioned that a lot of times people are hesitant to put on a program or a live stream like this, or even anything related like a podcast or a blog or a YouTube channel, simply because they are kind of worried about where in the world am I going to find content, right? So I think the most important principle to understand from all these 3 days, and I'm repeating the same topic again, is the fact that number one, your content is not as important as your audience, right? So worry about your audience first, worry about who you're trying to connect with first. That actually is more critical. Number two is understanding that most likely your audience are not going to be watching every single episode of your program, and certainly not going to watch from start to end for every single episode, right? So it is perfectly fine to repeat stuff, perfectly fine to rehash stuff, because it's normal, right? It's really normal, because not everyone will be watching from start to end and every single episode. So I hope that kind of lessens the anxiety, lessens the worry that you might have to think about, like, wow, I need to come up with original content all the time. That's not possible. You know, it is actually not possible. And of course, I mean, sometimes people talk about like there are various shows that can do this very well, but do understand that those shows usually have a whole team of writers behind them, right? Or at least a team of writers behind them. Of course, if you aspire for that level of sophistication in your live stream, then by all means, go ahead, right? You could. I mean, and it would be very interesting. I would love to watch a produced show like that as well. But if it's just like what I'm doing here, I mean, if it's just you, or if you're a new startup, and basically you are the only one running the content, then hopefully this idea and this understanding that number one is the audience that matters. Number two, you can repeat your content because not everyone is going to watch every single episode, right? So that helps you, okay? So today I'm going to talk about the third area or the third way that I find content, and honestly that is from other people's content, okay? From other people's content. So the idea again we mentioned in I think it was the first day of this series, is that there's no need to feel that you need to have original content all the time, right? I mean, in fact, there's no real original content anymore. Something that you have to say has probably been mentioned by someone else already, right? So there's no need to feel that you need to have original content all the time. In fact, it's actually very good to kind of look at what other people are doing and then tweak it, or maybe even just use it in a curation form, right? And I mentioned the other time that there is a platform that can help you to curate content as well, right? But today, I'm just going to talk about like things that you come across in your daily social media experience, right? I mean, I'm sure you're going to come across certain things. Like today, I'm going to talk about like, just show you very quickly, like, hang on. Yep. Let me move aside a little bit so you can see. Too much. That's a good thing about this boom arm, because I can move, right? Which is why people like this kind of thing, because it moves so that I can move out of the way as well. So I saw this on one of my friends' Instagram today, and this is actually quite interesting. This is quite good because so this is something that I wanted to share as well, because it's kind of in line with what we are talking about, right? And progress is messy, life is messy, people are messy, messy is real, embrace messy. So in fact, I was debating between two topics today. One, what the continuation of this content finding idea, or two, do we just show up even though we don't really have much content to talk about? But it kind of gels together. So obviously for my case, because this is a 100-day challenge, and there will be days where I kind of might have a blank. My mind goes blank and I do not know what to talk about, right? So it could be a scenario where I basically just need to show up. Now, showing up is already very important. And if you can do that, it's already very good. So I kind of like this saying because it is true, right? Progress is perfection, right? Don't worry so much about being 100% polished and proper and slick before you even put it out, right? So progress is messy, life is messy, people are messy, messy is real, embrace messy. So this is what I kind of wanted to share, and also as an example of the fact that you can use other people's content in your own live streams, right? You don't have to worry about always coming out with your own content. So this is kind of latching onto other people's content, right? So this is a very nice drawing and a very nice statement by, I think it's a group of artists or a person who is an artist. Go and check them out. This feels nice, right? So they have a lot of very nice graphic drawings and so on. And I kind of like this quote, and I thank my friend for sharing it in her feed today. I saw this and I liked it a lot, right? So this is one example, right? The other example is something like this. So this is one of the YouTube channels that I also enjoy. And he is the king of, let me show you what Gary Vaynerchuk said about him. So Evan Carmichael consumes so much content and then knows how to DJ it. Now, interesting, right? That's an interesting word. So it's like a DJ, right? So he's a content DJ, right? And then knows how to DJ it to inspire people. So Gary Vaynerchuk. So Gary Vaynerchuk obviously is also one of the very good fellas, very good guys on how to actually publish content onto social media. So Evan Carmichael has a few channels on YouTube. And just like what Gary wrote for him as an intro or as a statement, he's kind of like a content DJ, right? And you could model him. You could model what he's doing and as part of your live stream show. So you are a content DJ, you consume content and then you wrap it up and you put it out for people, right? Giving it your spin and giving it your, it's kind of like a mixtape idea, right? So this is what he does. So if you look at his YouTube channel videos, let me show you again. At the bottom, for example, like the one most common, most recent one is one with Kobe Bryant. So listen to this every morning. It's about motivation and things that you can learn from Kobe Bryant, his philosophies towards motivation, right? So Evan Carmichael, what he did was basically went to curate a lot of places where there were published content from Kobe Bryant and then put it together into like a sort of a mixtape for video, right? Sort of like a mixtape for a video. So that is another quick way for you to create content or from other people's content, right? So just the two things I wanted to quickly show you as ways to create content even for your live streams, and of course understanding that you don't have to be original all the time, right? It is kind of challenging to be original all the time. Of course, if you want to, you could, right? If you want to write, it could, then there will be a hallmark of your show. Right? If your hallmark of your show is that it's always original content, you're writing the show, you're producing the show, then that could be a hallmark, right? But it will obviously be extremely challenging. And of course, if that's what you want to do, then go for it, right? So just to quickly wrap up, because I kind of talked about Gary Vaynerchuk as well. This was something I wanted to mention yesterday, and just something for food for thought, right? Kindness, right? I think Gary said something the other day. He said that kindness is a superpower, right? So, I mean, just prior to coming on live today, just chatting with some friends, and I think we all kind of feel that these days on social media, we have a lot of keyboard terrorists, people who, because you are hidden, you're behind a keyboard, you can say a lot of things and you think you can get away with it, right? So it is it's not pleasant, right? So even on social media, even behind the veil of so-called anonymity, where people can't really see who you are, hopefully all of us can practice kindness, and I hope that can be something that we all aspire to, right? When we want to become a better person, a better man. So that's what I wanted to share for day number 37. This is day number 37 of a 100-day challenge, and fast approaching the 4-0 territory, which then will lead to the halfway mark, which then will lead all the way to the end of a 100-day challenge. It has been very, very fruitful and enlightening. Learning a lot of things along the way, and feel free to drop a comment. Right now, of course, if you do want to have a list of how you can find content, I have prepared a resource list. Feel free to just PM me for a list of resources. I'll gladly send them your way. If you want like ideas on how to find content for your live streams, and also even other things. So for example, on an earlier episode, I talked about gear. If you want a resource list for your live stream gear, also just PM me. Happy to send them your way. So thank you for joining me on day number 37. I will see you tomorrow for day number 38. Good night.